everyone. I'm Adam Brown, and this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of February 13th, 14th, and 15th. On today's show, we'll hear about a special dining option for Valentine's Day. We'll remind you of a long list of things you can fill up your weekend with, and we'll review all the feature stories from this week on our program. So, to that list of reminders. On Saturday, the Information Forum meets at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. Marine scientist Ray Ann Wessel, who has more than 30 years of environmental experience in Florida and is the Natural Resource Policy Director for the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation, will discuss methods used to protect our fragile wildlife and vegetation. Also Saturday, the Walking Club has an outing to downtown Fort Myers for your choice of a 3-mile or 6-mile walk, passing the historic River District, Yacht Basin, Courthouse, and the Museum of History. The group will depart from the Administration Courtyard at 8 a.m. For more information, call Jim Plummer of Parkwood at 337-2721 or Charlie McDonald of Royal Bonnet at 939-0210. Now, if you'd like to learn about being a more efficient, healthier walker, we have just the thing for you. Michelle Smith is here to tell you about a class to help you walk easier, lighter, and with less stress and injury.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith, fitness supervisor, and I'm very excited to tell you about a class that I'm going to be teaching here shortly in the Health Connections. It's called Keep Walking. I'm going to be teaching it in the Social Center Thursday, February 19th at 10:15. This class is a great way to learn about how you can get started on your very own walking program. If you're someone who has started a New Year's Eve resolution and you really want to get out there and be more active, but you're just not sure how to do it, this course would be the one for you. It's a lecture-based class held in the Social Center where I'll be telling you everything you need to know about starting that walking program. Anything from the proper footwear, using certain tools to track your walking like pedometers, anything you need to know that's going to get you up and moving. This class is not only for beginners, so my advanced participants may attend as well. You'll benefit from this class in learning about how to pump up your exercise walking, learn about various trails here at Shell Point, as well as off property. So I hope you attend this Keep Walking class to keep you fit and moving.
After all this walking, you might want to sit a spell in a cool, dark room and take in the Saturday movie about another short walk, The 100-Foot Journey. This highly acclaimed 2014 film deals with the relationship between two chefs and two very different restaurants that just happen to be 100 feet apart in a quaint French village. Have your popcorn in hand for the curtain to open at 2:00 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. If the evening is better for you, a second showing will start at 7 p.m. You may not be quite ready to run or walk a marathon, but we just about have a movie marathon going on with another film being shown at the Sunday matinee. This one is the classic 1993 romantic comedy Sleepless in Seattle, starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. This is a witty, insightful, and of course romantic story that will have you intrigued to the very end. It's one of my personal favorites. Showtime is 2:30 p.m., again in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. All this walking and movie watching is bound to help you work up an appetite. Saturday, you can grab your Valentine and head to either the Crystal Dining Room or the Palm Grill, because they both have special menu offerings for Valentine's Day. The Palm Grill is open from 5 o'clock to 8:00 p.m. Saturday with special entertainment. Greg Pindara gave us a rundown of what you can expect at the Crystal.
Hello everybody, it's Dan Philgreen from Shell Point TV here at the beautiful Crystal Dining Room with Greg Pindara, who's the Dining Operations Manager for Shell Point. And we're coming up on a historic event, something that's never happened before, at least since Mr. Pindara has been in charge. And what is that, Greg?
Well, we're going to be open on a Saturday night, and it's a special Saturday night that we're going to be open. It's Valentine's Day.
Terrific. And what have you got in store for the folks on Valentine's Day?
Well, we will have entertainment, and we will have a fantastic buffet to serve.
And what is that menu, Greg?
Okay, we're going to start out with our lobster chowder soup. We're going to be carving slow roasted beef tenderloin with wild mushrooms. We're going to have braised pork shanks and chicken a la orange, seafood tortellini, fresh vegetable medley, a chocolate fountain with a variety of fresh fruit, and assorted sweetheart desserts. And the price is $21.95 inclusive. That includes the buffet, your beverage, the gratuity, all in one.
That's just $21.95 for the whole shebang, folks. So come on out on Saturday, February 14th, for a Valentine's Day special dinner.
After a busy Valentine's weekend, a couple of items early next week could sneak up on you that we don't want you to miss. Monday, we have a program called Irving Berlin, A Daughter Remembers, at 2 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room. Damaris Peters Pike will present the uplifting story of President James A. Garfield and the tragedy of his brief presidency. Included in the presentation are songs from the era, which includes the Civil War. Also on Monday, there is a dinner outing to Stir Crazy in Estero. This Asian restaurant serves a diverse menu of Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese, and Japanese food. You can order from their menu or build your own stir-fry combination that will be cooked right before your eyes. Most entrees are priced between $12 and $25. Cost for transportation is $8. Island pickups start at 4:30 p.m. and the approximate return time will be 8 p.m. And finally, by way of reminders, don't forget that Tuesday night it's the Barbary Coast Dixieland Band at 7:30 at the Village Church Auditorium. Tickets are $15. Coming up, we're going to replay some of our best stories from this week on Shell Point Today. But before we do that, let's cover all of this weekend's happenings, Academy news, menus, and church news.
Welcome everybody to the weekend edition of Shell Point's Happening segment. I'm Bev Chandley and this is Caitlin Van Scoy, and we're going to go over the activities for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. At 8 o'clock we have the men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. 8:15 the stamp ministry will be in the stamp room of the island. From 8:30 to 11:30 we have our Friday marketplace in Administration Courtyard, so get out there and support those vendors and have some fun. Canasta and Samba will be played at the Woodland Commons second floor lobby at 9 o'clock. Our Suzy Q boat heads out at 9:30 to the Green Flash for lunch. Sign up is required. The men's match play doubles tennis will be at the Woodlands Tennis Courts at 10 o'clock. And also at 10 o'clock we have the Veterans Club meeting. They'll be in the Grand Cypress Room down at the Woodlands. At 10:15 the genealogy group will be in the Osprey Room on the island. Also at 10:15 we have the Inquiring Minds. They gather in the Manatee Room on the island. Heading into our afternoon lineup, we have a 12:30 mixed progressive bridge game. That's at the game room of the Woodlands. Advanced table tennis will be in the Tarpon Room at 1:15. And also at 1:15 we have a Health Connections class, life-saving cardiovascular screening information. That's in the Social Center. Sign up is required. Our quilters group will be in the Osprey Room at 1:15. And from 1:30 to 3:30, the Model Train Room will be open for tours. At 1:30, we have Vespers in the Community Room of the Arbor. 2 o'clock, we have Bid Euchre in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. Water volleyball will be at the LifeQuest Aquatic Center at 2:15. And Latin size will be going on in the Health Club on the island at 2:30. We have another Vespers at 2:30. This one's at the Community Room of King's Crown. Great Decisions group will be meeting. They'll be discussing the privacy in the digital age. That's in the Manatee Room at 2:45. We have a 3:30 Vespers at the Springs and a 4 o'clock pickleball game at the pickleball court. And our Friday evening it rounds out with 6:45 game night at the Resident Activity Center, so head on down there and have some fun. Here is Caitlin for your Saturday morning activities.
Thank you, Bev, and happy Valentine's Day. We start our day off with 8 a.m. pickleball at the pickleball courts on the island. And at 8 a.m. we have round robin tennis. All levels are invited to the Woodlands tennis courts. At 8 a.m. the Shell Point Walking Club will head down to downtown Fort Myers, and they'll meet at the Courtyard Clock on the island. 9:30 is a time for men's and women's doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. At 9:45 we have duplicate bridge, supervised play. A mini lesson and 2-hour game is $5, no partner or pre-registration needed, and that'll be in the Manatee Room on the island. At 10 a.m. we have information forum at the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. And at 10:15 we have the Model Yacht Sailing Club at the Garden Apartment Pond. And here's Bev for our afternoon.
Thank you, Caitlin. At 1 o'clock, we have chess in the Library Lounge at the Resident Activity Center. 1:15, Scrabble will be played at the Library Lounge. Also at 1:15, we have table tennis in the Tarpon Room, and that Tarpon Room is open for table tennis all weekend long unless it's posted otherwise. At 2 o'clock, you can take your Valentine to the Saturday DVD, The 100-Foot Journey. That's a 2014 film. That'll be in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. At 3:15, we have basic line dancing in the Health Club. And at 4 o'clock, we have the Valentine's Day dinner at the Crystal Dining Room from 4 to 7. At 5 o'clock, we have the Valentine's Day dinner at the Palm Grill, and that will run from 5 to 8 o'clock. 6:30 is the time for duplicate bridge. Call 466-6811 for partners and information. Arrive by 6:15 so they can start right on time. That's in the Manatee Room. And then our last Saturday activity is 7 o'clock. It's the Saturday DVD second showing of The 100-Foot Journey in the Grand Cypress Room. Here's Caitlin for your Sunday.
Thank you, Bev. We start Sunday off with 9 a.m. Christian Life Studies, both in the game room of the Woodlands and at the Village Church. At 10:15, we have morning worship at the Village Church. And if you can't make it down to the church, it's televised on Shell Point TV, Channel 13. At 4:15, we have ballroom line dancing for beginners in the Health Club. And we finish Sunday off with 6:15 evening service at the Village Church. Well, thank you for joining us for our Happening Segment Weekend Edition. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Koleth with your Academy information for Friday and the weekend. On Friday the 13th at 7:15 in the morning, court pickup begins for those who have signed up for Academy on the Go educational field trip to explore the Marie Selby Botanical Gardens in Sarasota and also enjoy the Clyde Butcher photo exhibit. At 10:15, an Apple iPad or iPhone walk-in clinic will take place in the Teaching Center on the island. All are welcome with their question, their iPad, or their iPhone. At 1:15, Quicken will begin in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. I'd like to tell you about what's coming next week. On Monday the 16th, we have iPhones, Calendar, and Maps apps with Bruce Findlay of Sundial. On Tuesday the 17th, we have our Sit and Stitch workshop with Susan Ross. The third session of the History of Middle East with Professor Kerr, and Talking on Siri with Bruce Findlay of Sundial. Dick Brown of Parkwood will also start Math in Society. On Thursday the 19th, we have Academy on the Go #4 educational field trip to the Minnesota Twins Stadium. And we have the Art of the Self-Portrait with Herb Sklar and some very special guests.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is baked salmon served with brown rice pilaf and asparagus. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $15.95, and the soup of the day is Manhattan clam chowder. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Friday, the special is a smoked sausage sandwich with fries for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are lamb chops for $22.95 or Florida lobster, also for $22.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room features its Valentine's Dinner Buffet from 4 o'clock p.m. until 7 o'clock p.m. for $21.95. On Saturday in the Island Cafe, the lunch special is a Valentine's French dip with onion rings for $7.25. The dinner special is grilled sweet chicken with strawberry risotto and green beans for $8.25. On Saturday, the Palm Grill features a Valentine's Day special menu. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is a tuna melt with coleslaw and chips for $7.25, and the dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25, and the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
It's a joy to welcome you to Village Church Connections. We're looking forward to the weekend, and so I'm here with Pastor Andy Hawkins to talk a little bit about the services that are coming this Sunday.
Absolutely.
Andy, Sunday morning, you've been working through a series in Hebrews, and I know that you're going to be continuing that series this Sunday morning. Tell us where we'll be.
That's right. We've, Hebrews is such a rich book. If you think you're hearing the same thing over and over again, you need to come again because there's something new and fresh in almost every passage that we look at. And this week, we're going to be in that section of the book of Hebrews in chapter 10, which is really talking about the priestly ministry of the Lord Jesus Christ. He's our great high priest, and it involves the comparison between his priesthood and the priesthood of the Old Covenant, the the priesthood of Aaron, or the Levitical priesthood as it's called. But in this particular case, we learn something about what pleases God, which is sort of an underlying issue. Do the sacrifices that people would issue under the Old Covenant, is that really what pleases God? Or is there something more significant about what it means to be in relationship with God that is the primary focus? And I think that's what the author of the book of Hebrews wants us to understand. Of course, we'll have glorious music as well. The King of Love My Shepherd is what the choir will be singing. And so we're looking forward once again to a God-honoring, God-centered worship service in which I think the soul will be satisfied.
Absolutely. And of course, I want to mention we begin with our CLS classes at 9 a.m.
That's right.
For people that can make that, that's always a special time. And then our worship time together is a wonderful, meaningful connection with each other and with our Heavenly Father.
That's right.
Then Sunday evening, you've recently begun a new series on our Sunday evening timetable.
That's right.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's the series is entitled Who is God? And it really has to do with the nature and character of God. You know, one of the things that I think is the obligation that God has placed upon me, and I think upon all pastors probably in general, but I certainly feel that kind of burden, is to make sure that people know who God is. As I mentioned in the first message in that series, A.W. Tozer says, what comes into your mind when you think about God is the most important thing about you. And so when you think in those terms, how we understand the nature and character of God will affect every aspect of our lives. And this coming Sunday evening, we'll be looking at Exodus chapter 3 to find out who does God say he is. I think it's a good place to start. Sure. If you want to know who somebody is, you can ask them. And God actually reveals himself to Moses in a significant way, and we'll start from that particular position in this part of our series. We have an introduction already, but this will be a great starting point for really exploring the nature and character of God.
We invite you to join us this coming Sunday, 9 a.m. for CLS class, 10:15 for worship, 6:15 in the evening again for worship. And if you can't be there Sunday morning, you can join us by way of ShellPoint TV as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend.
And now it's time to look back at the stories from this week on ShellPoint Today. We got the lowdown on the ShellPoint photo show and contest and how you can participate.
Hi, I'm Dottie Morrison, and this is John Ippenson, and we're here to talk about the 2015 ShellPoint Photo Contest and Show. It's coming up really soon, isn't it, John?
That's right. The dates, of course, have all been set, and so we're looking forward to it. This is a big event for the Photo Club.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
And of course, it's open to the public so that as far as viewing the photos at the photo show and contest, or contest and show, that they can come and throughout the period that they're on display.
Okay. Last year we had over 50 entrants, right?
Yes, and over about 270-some individual photographs that were entered into. At that point, we had 12 categories, plus the people who just displayed without being judged.
Right. So the forms, are they already available for everyone?
Yes, at the Island Service Desk. So
okay.
anyone can pick those up now. and to read through them, and so they'll be knowledgeable about how to enter and what to enter.
So what are some things we need to remind folks about as they pick up the form and as they're looking at their photos?
Well, one thing, of course, is to be sure that their photos, if they're entered into the categories other than the all-time favorites, that they meet the 2-year criteria for being taken within the last 2 years.
So, John, I guess one thing we should remind folks about is that they need to be sure that their print is nice and clear, that it's on 8x10 paper, and that it's on photo paper, not just plain ordinary paper.
And they have a choice of photo paper. They can use the gloss, semi-gloss, or matte finish, whichever most appropriate for the photo that they're entering.
Right. Okay, but you want a really crisp photo, or the judge is probably just going to walk right by.
That's right. In fact, this judge in some of her online comments have said that if it isn't sharp, forget it. So, and of course, that doesn't mean that you can't use the Boke technique and get different part of the image out of focus, but you have to have at least the focal point in focus and then in sharp focus.
Exactly. So have the categories changed this year at all?
Yes, we have eliminated 2 categories. The shell point activities and abstract categories have been eliminated.
And then there's a new category.
A new category is architecture. And of course, people think architecture means a building, which it can be, but there's, of course, all ages of buildings. If you have traveled around the U.S. or in foreign countries, of course, you see ancient architecture, and you see modern architecture sometime adjacent to one another in those cities.
And then what's the very last date to turn in entries?
The deadline is March 7th.
And then when will people start seeing them in the activity center?
Well, the show opens on March the 30th, and there'll be kind of a preview time where people can walk through and see the photos that are present. But on the 31st then, the winners will be announced at the gala. And so ribbons will be posted with the winning photos after that gala. And so if you come and view after that, you'll be able to see which photos won.
Right. Okay. Well, it's going to be an exciting time. Look forward to it. And they can call either you, John Ippenson, or me, Dottie Morrison, if they have questions. We are going to have the juried show as well. That's for people who have won a lot of ribbons in the past. They want to stop competing, but they still want to show. But they need to contact us, and they need to submit those photos to the executive board of the photo club.
That's right.
Right, not just turn them in.
That jury means being pre-approved, and so that process would have to occur before they are able to be displayed.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for all your organizational work, and I know you have a lot of work ahead.
Busy time coming up.
But it's going to be fun. Yes. All right. So if you have any questions, give either one of us a call, or look in Shell Point Life. There's an article about it, and go to the service desk for the correct forms. Be sure and read all the rules. There are always people that we have to call because they just didn't pay attention to the rules, or they didn't fill in all the information. So make sure those forms are filled in accurately.
We took a ride down memory lane with the help of some beautiful classic cars at the Springs.
So Inga, tell us about this car show.
Well, it's spring here in Florida, and we thought what better time to enjoy the weather than to be at a car show.
Absolutely.
So the residents have all come out. I think their favorite is probably the Bel Airs and the Packard back there. It's a 37 Packard, and many of them remember being in a rumble seat. Riding in the rumble seat.
Now, do any of your residents, did they have any cars like these?
Many of them did. And that was what's so nice about this car show, is that so many of them are saying, I remember when I had a car like this. And one of the residents said over there, there's what do they call those? The floorboards?
Oh yeah, the running boards.
Running boards.
Running boards. Yeah.
They said, we used to have to ride on the running boards because when we would get back from the beach, my father didn't want the upholstery to get wet. And so he would make us ride on the running boards.
Okay.
Or stand on the running boards.
So where do these folks come from? Where do all these cars come from?
From Cape Coral Hot Rod Chili Rod Club.
Okay.
And they don't charge us. They said that they come out here specifically because they know the residents are happy to see cars that remind them of when they were young. In fact, a couple of these cars, he only comes out when it's for assisted living residents.
Okay, we've got the president here of the Cape Coral Hot Chili Rods. And your name, sir?
John Cassetta.
John Cassetta, and we're here with your beautiful Bel Air. Tell us about it.
It's a 1953 Bel Air, but it's all customized. It's got a Chevy V8 in it. It's got a Camaro frame under it. It's got overdrive transmission, power steering, power disc brakes, power seats, and that's about all we need.
Wow, that sounds like well enough. That's an amazing vehicle there. So I understand your club is pretty big. You've got about a couple hundred members, I hear. Is that right?
Yes, we do, but you can't get them all together at once.
Okay. How many cars does that represent?
A couple of hundred cars.
A couple of hundred cars. That's fantastic. Now, this isn't your first time out at Shell Point. I know you've been out here a couple times before.
We do the other side of Shell Point. We've done a couple of parades there and a couple other shows there that they had. They had a big open house one time. We did.
Yeah, I remember that. I was here for that.
And we had a bunch of cars here for that.
That's fantastic. Well, I just want to, on behalf of Shell Point, I want to thank you and your club for coming out. And I know our residents really enjoy seeing your beautiful vehicles. So what's your name, Woody?
Woodard, yeah, Woody. They call me Woody.
Okay, Woody. So how'd you like the show today?
53 Chevrolet.
You had a 53 Chevrolet. Tell me, what color was it?
It was green.
Green.
Yeah.
What was your favorite place you ever went in your 53 Chevrolet? Your favorite trip?
Or you could, unless you had to take the mules and pull yourself out of that.
Did you do that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Pull this 50
many times
with the mule. What do you know? So, what was your favorite trip in your 53 Chevrolet?
Oh, probably to the county fair.
County fair. All right. Did you? What did you do at the county fair?
What's that?
Did you like eat some cotton candy? Did you go on some rides?
Oh, yeah, the whole works. Just a kind of a change of the pace, you know.
Yeah, and then you had to drive home late at night from the county fair, all full of cotton candy, huh?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, and then back to the cotton patch where the cotton came from.
With your mules. Now, this one's my favorite here, folks. The 1957 Chevy. I happen to have been born in 57, and my dad had a red one when I was a kid, so very fond of this car. And this is what I call tail fins, people. This is the ultimate in tail fins right here, the 57 Chevy. Beautiful car. What do you think about these cars?
I used to own one. The Chevrolet, the white Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome to the car show. What's your name, sir?
I'm Bob Harrigan.
You're Bob, and I understand you just rode all the way from the King's Crown out here to the Springs. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Did you come down here often from the King's Crown on your bike?
Every day.
Every day? Every day, folks. Sir, what's your name?
Jim Stewart.
Jim Stewart, who lives over here at the Springs.
Yeah.
So, Jim, this beautiful Cobra replica, what do you think of this thing?
Absolutely astounding to catch something like this anywhere, especially this is beautiful.
How would you like to get your hands on 412 horsepower?
That looks like it jumped right out from under you.
Yeah, I think so. Well, hey, enjoy the show out
Well,
here.
thank you. You had to be interviewed about it.
All right, have a great day. Are you enjoying the car show?
I'm enjoying it very much.
So are you a car person? Are you a car buff?
No, my son is.
Your son, what is he like?
He's got a beautiful red one, but don't ask me that. I think it's a Corvette.
Corvette, you know we got a Corvette right back here. It matches your jacket. This one back here, it matches your jacket. Did you see that? Look at that car. I'm thinking that could be the car for you.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Oh, well, that might be real good.
I think you'd like
yes.
it. All right. Doug, and so tell us, this looks like a brand new vet you got here.
Pretty close.
Pretty close? How old?
It's
how
a
long do you
14.
have? It's a 2014.
I bought it brand new.
All right. Tell us about it. It's gorgeous.
It's fast. It's fun.
And it costs a lot of money. Now, this is a classic antique car show. I guess you've got a guaranteed classic already, right? Even though it's brand new.
Yeah, because it's a new style.
Yeah. Fabulous. Now, did you see this lady here in the blue jacket? Her jacket matches your car, and you know.
Really?
Yeah, I would be careful. I'd watch her.
Oh, well, that might be real good.
You want to keep an eye on her.
I'll be all right.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing that was great, of course, is Love Boat ice cream. The residents
over here?
enjoyed all the Love Boat ice cream. I didn't get any yet, so maybe you and I will have to go get
Okay, well, hey, Inga and I are going to go get some of that ice cream.
Exactly.
Now, our marketing team is sampling the ice cream, so I think our TV team needs to do the same here pretty soon.
The annual library book sale is coming up soon, and we heard about what to expect.
Hello, Shell Point. My name is Melody Desolé, and I'm here today with very special guests, and it's a highly anticipated event. Every year, it remains the same. Everyone looks forward to this. So to introduce you to two lovely ladies, I have Marilyn Hooper, head librarian from Lucina, and Fran Ippenson, who is the chairman of the library from Royal Bonnet. And we're here to talk about the annual library book and media sale, which takes place in the Resident Activity Center Library Lounge. Now, Marilyn.
Yes.
What days are this highly anticipated sale?
It's a 2-day sale, February 18th and 19th. It is going to be huge. We have had so many donations, as well as all of the things that we've taken from the library during the year. So it is going to be a big sale, and it has been advertised to the outside. So we anticipate a lot of people coming for the Shell Point book sale.
So what Marilyn had alluded to is a little hint that if you are a resident, you want to get here early for this big sale. She had said it's the 18th and the 19th. What time does it start?
It starts at 9 o'clock and no early sales.
So and no sneak peeks then,
that's
huh?
That's right. And then goes to 4 o'clock each day.
Wonderful. So if you don't know what the Resident Activity Center is, it's up in the administration courtyard. And if you see the lagoon, you know you're right near the library. Now, Marilyn, you said this sale is going to be huge. So for those tuned in today, we are going to show you a sneak peek at how it's going to be so huge. So ladies, would you lead us to the closet of all the media? Ta-da! Well, as you can see, this is just a sampling of what's to come for the annual book and media sale. It's 2 days only, Wednesday and Thursday, February 18th and 19th. It's gonna be big.
On Friday, January 30th, the annual Shell Point Gala took place. All this week, we've been sharing a few highlights to remember this beautiful celebration. Julie Boyd and Bev Crenshaw from the Legacy Foundation, sponsor of the event, came by the studio to kick it off with this recap.
Hi, my name is Julie Boyd.
And I'm Beth Crenshaw, and we're from the Legacy Foundation at Shell Point.
And we just wanted to recap the wonderful gala event that we had on Friday, January 30th.
Yes, this was my first time attending the gala, and it didn't even feel like work.
I know. I felt the same way. It was my third gala event, and I think this was the best one ever.
When I first went over to the church, there was that wow factor. Earlier in the week, I actually helped Melody make the centerpieces on each of the tables.
And I helped on Thursday as well with many of our other staff members here at Shell Point.
Yeah, it was so great to see everything come together. It really looked beautiful.
I was in on the big surprise that was going to happen. And we had a Lifetime Achievement Award that was given to Mr. David Moreland, the VP of Sales and Marketing. His family came early to the Legacy Foundation before the show, and I snuck them around through the back door of the church. And what a sweet family they were.
Yeah, he has obviously shown godly character in all that he does, both personally and professionally.
I agree, and there was a touching video tribute made in honor of his 31 years of service to Shell Point.
Yeah, Mr. Dice did such a great job in reviewing 2014, and it was neat to see the pictures of all the progress that has been made throughout the years at Shell Point. It shows just how much the residents really care about the place that they call home and that anything is possible.
I love that possible theme. The guest performer this year fits in that category of anything is possible. He's a 14-year-old pianist that started playing when he was just 3 years old. His name is Ethan Bortnick, who many of our residents, I'm sure, have seen him on public television. I was impressed with his musical ability and his showmanship and how he related to the audience. He actually wrote a song for Shell Point.
Yeah, he said he wrote the song for Shell Point in 20 minutes in between the sessions. It was written on some sheet music that he found in the back. It was super catchy and very witty with the lyrics that he made up.
Yes, and he did mention that he wouldn't mind living here in the future.
That's right. And we should mention also that the dessert that was served at the gala.
It was wonderful.
I don't think you can really go wrong with key lime cheesecake and fresh fruit.
I agree. And also, I enjoyed listening to the old but new executive director of the Legacy Foundation, Jeff Corey. He feels like his life journey has brought him back to home to Shell Point and to the Legacy Foundation that he actually started in 2001. I know he feels like he has some unfinished business to take care of.
Yeah, it's really apparent to us how much he cares about our residents here at Shell Point. He's excited to continue his relationships and to build new ones.
Yes, and we hope you've enjoyed our recap. If you have not received the 2014 Community Report, please contact the Legacy Foundation at 466-8484 for your copy today.
Our entertainment for this year's gala was 15-year-old piano prodigy Ethan Bortnick. Here's a song from his program.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood. Have a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking the Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. Stars in the fancy cars and limousines, been high in the Rockies and in the Everglades. But I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste my time. I'm in a New York state of mind. Waste more time, 'cause I'm in a New York state of mind.
Thank you.
To the surprise of the crowd, Ethan shared a song in the evening that he had written in between the first and second seating. It was especially for Shell Point.
1 second. Let me move the microphone. There we go. When I first arrived to Shell Point, the beauty that I saw, the care and the people, I was in awe. We're always together, relying, serving and caring and satisfying. This special place, this home that I embrace, the people that I see, I want them in my life next to me, 'cause it's my Shell Point community, my Shell Point community. When people come here, Wait a second, let me do that again. See the beauty of writing a song in 20 minutes. Okay. When people come here, I can't read my own handwriting. There we go. When people come here, they've heard the rumor, the only complaint, they wish they came here sooner. We're always together, relying, serving and caring and satisfying. This special place, this home that I embrace, the people that I see, I want them in my life next to me, 'cause it's my Shell Point community, it's my Shell Point community. This special place, this home that I embrace, the people that I see, I want them in my life next to me, 'cause it's my Shell Point community, 'cause it's my Shell Point community.
One of the nicest people you will ever meet at Shell Point may have been one of the first people you ever met at Shell Point, our longtime Vice President of Sales and Marketing, David Moreland. David is not retiring exactly quite yet, but he will soon be scaling back to part-time and starting to wind down. The gala was the perfect time to recognize David's monumental contribution to Shell Point through the years. Here is the video that was shown and what happened just afterward.
Well, in all honesty, I came to Shell Point because I needed a job. And I had a business in New England. It was retail, direct mail, and I had a catalog company. And we had some great years and had a great life there in New England, and we're very happy, never wanted to leave New England. One of the recessions took a big hit on us. I lost a lot of money and went broke. And I struggled for 3 years to feed our family, and it was a very difficult time. It all led up to a call and an invitation to have an interview with someone from Shell Point.
The board of directors was looking for someone to head up the sales and marketing office here at Shell Point.
He invited me to come to Nyack, New York, which was the headquarters then of the Christmas Airlines. Honestly, I didn't have the money for the gas. So I said, you know, I could come down to your office and try to impress you, but what would give you a much better bead on me and our family would be if you came to our home and let us give you dinner.
He asked us if we would go to Massachusetts, where this candidate lived. And so we drove together with our wives, and that's when we met David Moreland.
You know, we had a delightful evening, frankly, and out of that interview came an invitation to move to Shell Point. And we feel that this was our destiny, that God brought us here. And I never dreamed that this would be such a great business and ministry. And this dual passion, loving God on one hand and loving business on the other, came together so beautifully for us.
David has a faith. He integrates it with his personal and his professional life.
As opposed to compartmentalizing the two from each other. The result, I believe, is a greater blessing in both areas, both for himself and for Shell Point.
He's totally integrated, and he is probably one of the most God-honoring people I've ever met.
To me in sales, so much of sales is learning to tell the story and learning to get the story down. As I learned the story, I began to learn how to tell it in a way that was compelling.
I think Dave has set the standard for sales here at Shell Point, and I think every other CCRC, probably in the country, would like to have a David Moreland on board to lead their sales staff.
His demonstration of leadership, he has certainly led by example, and I've learned so much from him.
And the whole time we've been expanding since he's been here, and we've grown substantially, he's always kept the culture of Shell Point at the forefront. So the growth and the expansion have been excellent for the finances and the background of Shell Point in terms of money coming in, but he's always kept the mission at the forefront.
And we have to provide opportunity for people to come and experience Shell Point, really seeking to answer two questions. Would I want to call this place home? Number one. And would I want to call these people friends and neighbors?
So as we've been challenged to answer those questions, I think David has really helped us to create a sales and a marketing culture that's really been unlike anything that I have ever experienced in my entire 45-year career in healthcare.
David's sales and marketing expertise are legendary throughout the country, and the success he has brought to Shell Point in that area is well documented. But more than that, his remarkable biblical knowledge and grasp of the Christian worldview has made him a tremendous spiritual asset to Shell Point as well.
I have concluded many years ago that God wired me for this job, that it comes natural to me.
He is gifted in discerning what the market is out there.
Our tagline, lifestyle with life care. I've always felt that that is a great tagline, and I think it tells the story in 3 words. I love it, and I still love it today. And I remember it came to me one day when I was coming to work, and I was so excited. I got in my office and I called Pete. I said, Pete, I've got something to tell you. I have a tagline that we're going to live with, and it's going to be good. I told him, and it immediately clicked, and he identified immediately that it was good. That gives me a lot of pleasure. Many people who you sell life care to, because it's such a long period of time that they're looking at it, they become friends. So we've made many friends through the years.
David's been a great friend for me. He has served as a mentor. He's served as someone who I see as an incredible example of a godly man.
He became a mentor. He became my boss. He became a friend, and recently he has described himself to me, which I found very touching, my coach.
So when people have asked me, would you sell it to your mother? And the answer is I did. And my mother and dad lived a wonderful life here and enjoyed it very much.
He and I are first cousins. His mother, my father, brother and sister. David is one of the most compassionate, joyful, and genuine people I have ever known. I'm a few years older than David, of course, but I find myself looking up to him admiring his life of integrity and righteousness.
The most memorable thing for me about David is a conversation that I had with him. He started to talk about his wife with such love and affection and kindness and respect, and I thought that was really special.
I was working in Sarasota, and David and I met in Washington, D.C. We'd been attending a Leading Age, which at that point in time was called the American Association of Homes and Services for the Aging. And the conference was over. We were leaving the hotel. I had not met him, but we both were looking for a cab, so we shared a cab from the hotel to the airport. In any metropolitan area, get caught in traffic, and it's a little distance, so we got to talk a while. And I was sharing with him kind of being a little bit disgruntled in the field I had chosen. And from that cab ride from the hotel to the airport, he totally turned me around, pretty much kept me thinking about this field that I had chosen, and he just became my mentor in that field. So that was a really special time.
Back in 2005, we were in the middle of our 100 apartments turning over and all of that renovation. We had doubled the amount of construction we were in the middle of, and the stress level had just absolutely peaked. And David came down to my office, and he got me, and we walked down the hall, and we grabbed the construction manager, and the three of us got together, and David led us in prayer. And there was just a peace that came about when he did that. And by God's grace, we made it through that. And that's David Moreland to me. He's a prayerful man, he's a God-fearing man, and he's one that I treasure and love, and I'm happy to call him my friend.
I spent about 5 hours with David and Pete one day as we drove to our sister facility at the Land. And it was 5 hours of me saying almost nothing, which most of you know would be very difficult. But it was such a joy. For 5 hours, I listened to the two of them recount time after time after time in the history of Shell Point where God's hand led them and others through what were incredibly difficult and very, very challenging situations.
I am very humbled by my experience to have been here. I am so grateful, and I'm thankful that I have been a party to such a great thing.
I think what I want to thank David for is just being who he is, because the kind of person he is has affected Shell Point, it has affected me. It doesn't matter the money people leave or the talents that they have used. I think it's the person he is that's affected us so greatly over the years.
So David, thanks so much for what you've meant in my life. There is no doubt, quite honestly, that I am a better man for having known you.
He's inspired me, he's encouraged me on many occasions, and from time to time he's gently counseled me. I'm deeply grateful. Thank you, David.
There is a saying that there are people who come into our lives and then quickly leave. There are others who come and stay a while, and they leave footprints on our heart, and we're never the same. That can be said of David Moreland. I believe that he's left footprints on Shell Point and on many of our hearts, and we are not the same.
Well, David, I think the only way that more appreciation can be expressed is, to you for what you have done is everybody being willing to pay another founder's fee to come here.
I think that's a good idea.
But we won't go there. It is so touching to hear the impression this man has made on everybody's life at Shell Point. And it is appropriate for us tonight to recognize him. And David, it's with deep gratitude and appreciation that I present to you the Lifetime Achievement Award at Shell Point to express our appreciation. We are having it delivered here by our David, we thank you for your skill and expertise. We thank you for your dedication. We thank you for making so much possible for Shell Point. And above all, we thank God for you and all that you have done for him. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
I am deeply touched by so many gracious words that are way beyond my experience. And if there's a seed of truth to any of them, I hope that they draw attention to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I am so honored and so deeply humbled and deeply touched, and I thank all those who participated in making this happen. And I'm so grateful for the rich tapestry of friendships that I enjoy with Shell Point residents. You have become many of my deepest friends, and I love you and thank God for the privilege that has been mine to participate in the history of this organization. I am indeed grateful to you and certainly grateful to God for what a glorious experience it has been for me to work and serve Jesus Christ in such a wonderful place, and for that I express my deepest thanks.
Once again, thank you, David. None of us would be enjoying the Shell Point we know today if not for your amazing work for all these years. Well, that wraps up another week on Shell Point Today. We're glad you joined us for our show. Tune in again next week for more news and stories from around your community. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of February 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'm Adam Brown, and for all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.